Peace, 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 black family. I'm back. Underground Warrior TV, I am back. I'm back with another video. Black family, why our people never take heed? You could come with some real life-saving information for our people, and our people don't listen. They don't listen to what real knowledge is. Our people are so tranquilized with this white supremacy mindset that we don't look after ourselves and our people. We don't even care. We don't take heed to what Malcolm said, to what Martin Luther King said, to anybody who came with real live information that would probably, if we take heed, would probably help us and save us. We didn't take the heed of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We have to take information and run with it, because your counterpart, which is other people, they always listen to their people. The Asians listen to other Asians because they know what an Asian feels and what an Asian needs and an Asian wants. Europeans naturally going to listen to Europeans because they know what the Europeans feel and what the European wants. But we the only people who take our people for granted. All the great people who came before us and try to give us the right path. Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali. I'm not faulting the people who was enlightened by the spirit to try to galvanize the people. And the people, after they gone, do some other off the wall things. Honorable Elijah Muhammad dies, the Nation of Islam goes to the left. No more black power. Somebody wanted to integrate the Nation of Islam with Orthodox Islam. Those people don't care about black people being Muslim. The majority of those Arabs, not all Arabs, the majority of Arabs don't care nothing about us. But why we never take heed to what Malcolm said, to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass. Not only those type of people. Our common life of going about our day. We never listen to the older people who been through what we've been through as a people. What I'm going at, y'all, we never on code as a people. White people on code. They felt the signal. When Donald Trump became elected president of the United States of America, white folks was on code. The Nazis was on code. You feel what I'm saying? We the only people who don't get on code. Them Nazis are on code. And they still on code while we still asleep. Word about, can we get a car that look better than our next door neighbor car? And he black and she black. We debating over using that word black when black is power. Who cares how the white man denotes what black is? Niggas debate about the word black because they scared to fight the white man. And the biggest, craziest thing I see is that we're Native American. Niggas want to debate, okay, be Native American. But right now, we look like those people in Africa. Those people in Africa have been colonized for years with Great Britain. You got to understand the African. The African in Africa been bombarded with Great Britain education, French education. How is it that my good brother Patrice has a French name and his last name is Lumumba, which is a African name? How did he get caught up with a France name? Because one time France colonized the Congo, and they still got hands in the Congo. I want to get back on track, but I'm just saying how confused our mind is, no matter if we from Africa or we descended from Indians, whatever it may be, the police and the world hate us. You brothers and sisters with Native American blood, how come the white government don't see you as an Indian that deserves reparations? You deserve reparations. They won't give it to you unless you can prove that you got 25% of Indian blood in your bloodline. And when they do that DNA, it comes out African. You say it's a farce. That the science of DNA is a farce. That's one thing that is true when you're dealing with genetics. Genetically, things can be interpreted. Genetically, things can be interpreted because the science of dealing with gene splicing and cloning, those things was available in the ancient times with the ancient Egyptians or the ancient Kemites. We're not Egyptians, we're Kemites. Our ancestors already had their hand on the science of genetics. So, with that being said, this is how the scientists of this world can connect certain people to certain crimes after their genetics or their DNA has been in file or on file in the data file. And when that person commits a crime, its data is already on file and they can match it. This science is for real. So they can tell with ethnic background that you may come from. And it can show what mixture or race that you with. So this is baseless. It's no argument that anything come in contact with black Africans, you're that, because it's the strongest gene on the planet. So the argument is baseless because we got a common enemy, which is white supremacy. The name of the game, what's the solution to overthrow this oppressive regime that black people feel all over the globe? That is, I think, is the main goal that we should be reaching for. I think all this debating is an excuse not to face your enemy. It's feminine behavior. If I'm a Hebrew Israel, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Jew. All these terminologies that we use is division. It's division because we all look the same. If you ain't African, they sure treat you like an African. If you're not African and the slave trade didn't happen out of Africa into the Americans, they sure treat you like an African. We're not on code. And I hate to go, down a tunnel to take us back to where I'm trying to get to. because our kids, since we're not paying attention, our kids gonna be victims of white supremacy all the time. We already got a hard time with black people being harsh to black people. We already got a bad time with black people killing black people. I don't want to get away from that because we're fucked up as a people. And I'm going to tell you why. We don't have no time for tribal warfare. It's real corny right now. When everybody on the planet right now is killing black people and you want to participate to kill off your own people, you're the leech who want to leech off your own people. You see what I'm saying? So, black people, you know what happened to some young teens in Portland, Oregon? In Portland, Oregon, on September the 2nd, a white racist man named Adrian Cummins, y'all, in Portland, on a train, 2 young teens, they won't disclose their names or their age. The white man jumped up screaming all kind of racist slurs towards these young teens and commenced to start stabbing them in Portland, Oregon, September 2nd, 2023. The white supremacists got the code. The white supremacists got the signal. The white supremacist is on code. And we falling asleep. We in the club. We popping pills. We too busy trying to scheme and break in each other's houses and kill each other. We're not paying attention. We setting ducks in America, because if someone like me come around you right now speaking on what I'm speaking, you're going to say that nigga crazy. And while I'm crazy, somebody is killing us and you're participating in the murder of our people. Straight fucking genocide. It's a genocide going on against black people ever since we've been up on this planet. That's why I'm down with South African when the brother said, Julius Malema, go look him up. You could put it in your search engine when you go to YouTube. Julius Malema of South Africa said, do not fall for the anti-African agenda, no matter where you at. And I understood it. But anyway, I'm going to get back to that. Anyway, this dude, Adrian Cummins, he yelled racist slurs as he attacked stabbing. One team had to have surgery because a race soldier stabbed him in the heart, causing this team to bleed real bad, and it was internal bleeding around the lungs. Yeah. This happened in Portland, Oregon, y'all. And guess what? The Multnomah, I think it's Multnomah County prosecutor in Portland, Oregon, alleged that court records show that this race soldier was arrested prior to this incident that just happened September 2nd. For some more crazy, outrageous things. And both times he was rejected by the county. The county jail wouldn't put him in the jail because of underlying medical conditions. I don't know what that medical condition was. You feel what I'm saying? But they don't care if you got a underlying medical condition if you black. You go to jail. There's no empathy and sympathy. Since the jail had empathy and sympathy for their own kind and let this white man loose, he stabs 2 brothers. I believe they 2 brothers, 2 sisters. They didn't disclose none of that. It could have been a male. and a female team. Male and male team. All I know, they won't disclose that. This race soldier was let out of jail. Won't even be booked. He won't even be booked when he go in. He won't even be booked when he go in. They see who he is and sitting right up out of there. He got a medical condition. We can't process him. They can't process this chump. So, Portland, Oregon has a history for racism. 1887, a gang of white horse thieves murdered 34 Chinese, and nobody was held responsible. 34 gold miners, Chinese gold miners, 1887 was murdered in Portland, Oregon. This made the newspaper. They didn't have TVs back then, but it was big news. That's why I highlighted that, because it was big news in 1887. 1920, 1 in 20 residents in Portland, Oregon held a Ku Klux Klan membership. Ain't that a bitch? Damn, 85% of Oregon population is white racist. It's only 2.3% black people in Portland, Oregon. What the hell y'all doing up there in Portland, Oregon? Ain't no niggas up there. That is crazy. By 1970, just check out the races in this country. This got to be one of the most racist countries on the planet. Check this out, black people, and you wonder why we ain't got reparations. They say in 1970, the Klansmen proposed a situation by creating a white ethno state called Northwest Territorial Imperative. Ethno state. You know what ethno state means? Nothing but white people. They proposed to the governors and the city to make an all-white city. No blacks, no Mexicans. In 1970. In 1988, a white supremacist group murdered one Ethiopian 28-year-old college student that traveled from Ethiopia to the United States for college education. They beat him to death. His name was Mula Geta Serwe. Mula Geta Serwe from Ethiopia. Ethiopian black man was murdered in 1988 by white supremacists in Portland, Oregon with a baseball bat. Cowards. You feel what I'm saying? Mula Geta Serwe. Mula Geta Serwe. I'm going to say his name, so his name will resonate with you. You know, Ashe. You feel what I'm saying? You know. So, y'all remember back in 2017 when those Muslim people were killed, Arab people were killed because they was Muslims? Jeremy Christian kills 2 Muslim men on a train or a bus. I remember back in that day, 2017. Matter of fact, Jeremy Joseph Christian, that was his name. He was harassing 2 Muslim girls who wore the scarf on their head. He called them all kind of bees and go back to Afghanistan, camel jockeys. He was going off on them. And 2 Muslim men came to their rescue, you know. That's the importance of us black men. You got to step up, even if we die, stand for the black woman. These Muslim men, Arab men, stood up for these young teenagers against that race soldier. They lost their life. He stabbed them to death. That was in 2017. Oregon have a propensity of racism. I hope that team that had that internal bleeding, have a speedy recovery. And the team that was stabbed, other team that was stabbed, they suffered minor injuries. And I'm still hoping for speedy recovery. Tell me what y'all think about us not being on code. Because ever since Donald Trump and before Donald Trump, white people listen to white people. When it's time to rise, when white people say it's time to rise, when Donald Trump did what he did, you see what happened at the Capitol. You got these niggas with this MAGA hat. They think Donald Trump is a cool white boy. Donald Trump is a Nazi. What you think what's going to happen when the Nazi Republicans get in power? They already trying to erase history and change history. There's a lot of people trying to rearrange and change history around because they don't want to pay black people reparations. Blacks are 2.3% in population in Oregon. White racist man named Adrian Cummins stabs 2 of our black children. What we gonna do, black people? Go ahead and mash up the likes, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Peace and black power. I'll leave y'all with the news about the stabbing in Portland, Oregon. Peace and black power. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for the fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute and might otherwise be infringing non-profit education. Personal use tips the balance in the favor of fair use.
First on Fox tonight, new information in the stabbing of 2 teenagers on a MAX train. The incident is being investigated as a hate crime, and we're learning that the man being charged with assault, bias crime, and robbery was allegedly involved in another incident on TriMet property earlier this year. Police say he's also a convicted felon from another state. Fox 12's So-Young Kim is live in Southeast Portland with more on the story. So-Young?
Anna, investigators say they found the 2 teen victims here at this Southeast Flavelle Street light rail station. Many people rely on public transportation.
I like the MAX area because it helps us get where we got to go.
Riders were concerned when they heard about a stabbing.
We were on the next train that was behind him.
The Portland Police Bureau says officers responded Saturday evening just before 6 o'clock. Authorities believe the assault started on a MAX train before the victims and the man allegedly responsible exited at the Southeast Flavelle Street light rail station. Officers found 2 17-year-old victims who had been stabbed. One victim was treated at the scene and the other was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators say the man tried to make a run for it and was taken into custody at Southeast Mount Scott Boulevard. Officers recovered a knife nearby. Investigators say he is also being accused of robbing a convenience store near Southeast Flavelle Street and 92nd Avenue at knife point earlier in the day. The man accused is 25-year-old Adrian Cummins. Investigators say he hurt them, quote, because of his perception of the victim's race. According to court documents, Cummins is also facing charges for another TriMet-related incident from earlier this year in April. Investigators allege he was involved in a fight on a MAX train, which ended on TriMet property near Southwest 2nd Avenue and Yamhill Street. During the fight, a gun fell out, and Cummins is facing charges for felon in possession of a firearm. Investigators also say he's a convicted felon from Florida. People say they'd like to see more security on the MAX.
Well, they have all those TriMet security. I mean, that should be on every platform.
He was booked into the Multnomah County Detention Center.